time to let some more guitars go, to keep the circle of guitars turning. So I've chosen what I'm calling some guitars that have really got a story on this channel one way or another. It arrived with scratches all over it. I may have added my own mark to these guitars. It's even got a little bit of glue that I haven't cleaned off properly. There's a little bit of stand rash there. And then of course this one's got the hole that I screwed through the back. It's got a story, so maybe you'll be the next chapter. Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. Today, it's another sad day as it's time to let some more guitars go, to keep the circle of guitars turning and a-turning. We buy guitars, every now and then we have to sell some guitars. This channel, as you might know, is, well, it's meant to be self-financing, i.e. I don't have sponsorship, I don't accept free guitars. I get offered them from time to time, but I don't accept them, and I don't accept paid money to review things. So I prefer to remain independent and buy what I like. And unfortunately, that means I have to use real money. So every now and then I have to sell guitars to keep that going, because the ad revenue, you know, those annoying ads that you have to watch on YouTube, it doesn't quite add up. So we have to sell guitars and then buy guitars. That's the way it should work. Normally what I do is buy guitars and then have to sell guitars. So I've mulled over this one long and hard over the weekend, because it gets harder, harder, because generally I just buy guitars that I really like and I want to keep, and I have to go, okay, I don't really want to sell that, but at the end of the day, I just can't hang on to them all. I look around me and I can see all these guitars kind of building up just behind me here. I'll show you a shot of that. I think, okay, let's be honest and just get rid of them. So I've been struggling with this one this weekend, and how to justify selling guitars that I really like. But I think I worked it out. All of these guitars, yeah, all the guitars that I'm going to sell today, I've bought these for us, the guitaristas. That's us. That's not me. That's the community. So I've bought these guitars for us to look at, and so I think it makes perfect sense for me to say, well, look, I'm not playing these guitars. I'm not going to play these guitars very much because I don't have time and I've got too many. So it makes perfect sense for me to share them further. I paid for them. Now, if you would like to buy one of these off me, you can own it for a while, do what you will with it, and then when you're done with it, you can share it with somebody else perhaps. So I've chosen what I'm calling some fucked up guitars that have really got a story on this channel one way or another. Fucked up in that I may have added my own mark to these guitars one way or another. So what I'm going to do is go through these guitars one by one. There are 4 guitars. Let's look at them. Let's talk a little bit about them. Let's hear them. And then at the end, we're going to list them. You could own them. Okay, let's get into it. First off, you might recognize Scratch. Yeah, I'm selling Scratch. Why am I selling Scratch? I haven't really played it that much, to be honest with you. I really haven't played it. It's gathered dust. There's a lot of dust on it. It needs to go to a better home, somebody that will play it hard, as it deserves. Lovely sounding guitar. Looking, well, I call this fucked up because if you saw the original film, and I will put a link in the description box, when I bought this from Peach Guitars, brand new. It arrived with scratches all over it. Not just a little bit, quite bad all over. It looked like somebody had polished it with a rough cloth and really fucked it up. And it had some weird kind of wire wool marks you could see. Under a microscope, under powerful studio lights and 4K cameras, which is kind of what I do here. And when I received this guitar and saw all these scratches, I contacted them and I said, I bought this to review it and it's fucked. So can I just send it back? And they said no. They said no. They said, well, I think they didn't believe that I hadn't put the scratches on myself. And then they said it was quite normal. And then over a period of to-ing and fro-ing, they just said no, basically. Full story's in the description box. Upshot is there's a film on YouTube that's had, I don't know, 30-odd thousand views, I think it has now, sort of saying how unhelpful they were. And of course, I've not bought any guitars from them since and don't plan to ever again unless they can find a way of building a bridge. So this is scratch. Now you will see some of this scratching and you'll see lots of normal scratching that you would put on a nitro ebony guitar when you handle it. That's what happens with nitro guitars, and when they're ebony you can see them. So yeah, normal handling scratches all over it. Looks like a used guitar now, and if you look very close, I think there's a little bit of stand rash there now as well. So yeah, this is a probably fucked up guitar, and is the first in our sale this week. It is a great guitar, but it's got a fabulous neck. Well, check out the review. We're going to hear it now. This is going to be listed at the end of this film. You could own it. Next is the Gibson SG Special in ebony. Okay, partly bought this to disprove what Peach Guitars claimed, that all ebony nitro guitars came with scratches, and of course this one didn't. So they were talking nonsense. This one was absolutely fine. Now, of course, it does show some signs of some slight whirly scratching on the back. Nothing much at all on the front. Some signs of use. Okay, it's got signs of use, and I'll mention that because obviously it's got this kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, misting in the nitro where your shirt or your body or your arm rubs against it. It goes quite flat. Don't know if you can see that on the cameras now, but I'm not going to clean this, okay? I want to send these out as they are. I don't want to be responsible for trying to polish that out and making it worse, okay? Like Peach Guitars did. So I'm going to leave that as it is. There's a little bit of stand rash there. And then, of course, this one's got the hole that I screwed through the back. You'll have to watch the film to find out what that's all about. But yeah, this has got a little added sound hole, screw hole. It was from when I screwed the pickup down, but you know, check that out. It makes it sound better, I think. An extra sound hole there. Yeah. It's probably fucked up this guitar. It sounds great now. It sounds great. You'll hear it in a second. But that it is what it is, okay? It is what it is with all the upgrades. Now this has got Murray custom wound P90s that are fucking great. It's got this torque pick guard now. It's got witch hat knobs and CTS 550k pots, I think. Check out the upgrade film and you'll see everything that happened to this. And it's great, but I don't play it. So it's going, and it's got a story. So maybe you'll be the next chapter. Next is this one, which it hasn't even had time to gather dust. This is fresh in our minds, isn't it? It's the Epiphone 58 Carina Flying V, or the expensive one, as I call it, which just recently I bought, as you may be aware, and fixed it because this one arrived. This has had a broken headstock. I'll show you. I'm just going to remove this capo here. Hope it doesn't fall apart. There you go. That's all that's really been holding it together. It's hanging on there, but as you can see, it's in a bit of a state. It's now been repaired by my own hands just a few weeks ago. Links are in the description box if you want to see. I bought this. I didn't really ever intend to keep this guitar. I didn't expect it to arrive broken, and I didn't expect to have to fix it. But that's done now, and what I've decided is, I mean, it does sound great. It does sound great, but what I've decided is to not, if you saw the film, if you see the film, all I did is I've glued it properly, you know, it's fixed, it is fixed, as far as I can tell, and playable. But I haven't done anything more than glue it. It's still a little bit, you know, you can see where the repair was. There's a big repair there. And I haven't done any fine tuning. It's got some cracked lacquer, and it's got a little bit of a chip there from where the lacquer cracked out. And I did say I'm going to finesse it, but I've decided not to. I think that should be left as part of the evidence of its previous state of repair and its current state of repair. Really, it's a firm old, you know, it's a firm old repair. I did it properly, but again, that'll be left up to the new owner to decide what they want to do. It's kind of like it's relic, isn't it? It's part of the story now. It's even got a little bit of glue that I haven't cleaned off properly, that you might want to, or you might want to leave it. I don't know. but it's perfectly playable. You wouldn't hurt yourself, playing it or anything. But as I say, new owner can add another chapter to the story. Well, what would you do with it? Would you leave it as it is and play it? I mean, that's what I would do if I kept it. Really, I don't think it needs. I mean, people pay fortunes for relic guitars. I'm not going to add a premium to the price of this, incidentally, because of that. All of these guitars, I'm going to be selling them for what I think is probably the going rate, really. This, I'd try and get my money back. So it'll be a cheap Carina V, although it's had a broken headstock. One of the most famous guitars in circulation, the Greenie Moore. Sorry, the Greenie Moore Hammett. Yeah, Hammett is Hammett, isn't it? I thought Hamnet for a minute. It's Hammett, isn't it? Kirk Hammett, yeah. Greenie Moore Hammett. Broken headstock, isn't it? Probably does add to the value, but, I want to share the love, not, exploit it. Anyway, yeah, so I've decided to get rid of this one now, really, rather than let it gather dust. I've got another V, as you know already, and I bought the cheaper one, which is I'm going to hang on to for now, and let this one go. There's a little bit of value in it, and it could be yours. Last guitar in today's sale, it isn't fucked up at all. In fact, it's pretty much immaculate. It's this Eastman SB56N. N for nitro and 56 for the 1956 layout. P90 stop tailpiece, tunematic bridge, era of Les Paul manufacture. So I bought this to replace my Gibson Les Paul R4, in fact, as my P90 Les Paul. And it's been a brilliant replacement, but just like the R4, I haven't really played it. So it didn't really make sense to hang on to it. I'm not a massive Les Paul fan. I don't play them very often through choice. I've got one Les Paul that I play through choice a lot at the moment, and that's an Eastman. That's the SB59, which I really play a lot. So this one doesn't get a look in. It doesn't make sense to just leave it sitting there when there's a bit of money tied up in it that I could quite easily spend on other guitars that I might play more, or at least that I can review. I can buy several guitars to review for you guys. So this one's going. It's not fucked up. It's pretty much mint. There was a comparison film with the R4. Links in the description box. Check it out. We'll have another listen now. If you fancy a used Eastman. You don't see many used Eastman's for sale, which I think says something. Anyway, I don't play it. Needs to go to a home to someone that will play it and enjoy it properly. And this will free up some funds to spend on other guitars to review and enjoy, and then keep the circle of guitars moving. So yeah, if you fancy this, it's on reverb at the end of this film. Are you tempted? I know I would be. Now listen, if you are, please make sure you watch the various films that involve whatever guitar it is you're interested in. All the links are in the description box. Make sure you watch them properly so you know what you're getting into, okay? Now, all of these guitars have got their original hard cases, and whatever case candy was included, I think both of the Gibsons have got all of the original stuff, the multi-tool, the baby photos, and whatever comes with the Gibsons. And I can tell you, both of those Gibson cases smell beautiful. You know, that vanilla smell or whatever it is, nitro smell. I don't know what it is, but they smell lovely. The guitars haven't been kept in the cases, obviously, hence why they're so dusty and scuffed up. The cases are kept closed since new, still smell new. Well, still look new as well. So the Gibson cases, Eastman, this Eastman didn't come with nothing. I put some wrapped up Allen keys, I think. A nice Eastman case though. And the Epiphone Flying V, a couple of stickers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the extra mile. I'm going to show Epiphone how it's done and put some case candy in. I've got a little collection. I'm going to put some strings in, my string of choice. I've got some picks. I thought we'll chuck some picks in. These are the picks that I use. And candy. Got to have candy, haven't you? So yeah, and as if that's not enough, we're going to go another step further than Epiphone, and we're going to include a certificate of authenticity. Here's a draft. This is what it looks like on the screen. It says, the instrument bearing the serial number above was bought, reviewed, taken apart, messed with, and badly played on our YouTube and television channels. Like all our ex-demo guitars, this example may bear the scars of careless handling by an idiot. Signed, Colin, Chief Guitarista. That's me, okay? So, you know what you're getting into, okay? You know what you're getting into. If you're interested, go to Reverb Shop, my Reverb Shop. Link is in the description box. Go there and see if there's anything left. The last couple of sales I've done, they've gone really quick, the guitars. Also, you should know that this film drops about 12 hours earlier on the TV channel, on the subscription channel. I said earlier, we don't have sponsorship on this channel. I don't have Patreon. I don't accept free gifts, tip jars, stuff like that. The only thing I have is a subscription TV channel, which includes all of the content you see on YouTube without any adverts and quite a lot of extra stuff nowadays. So, and those films always drop earlier. So, you know, if you've signed up to the TV channel, you get in early, basically. You get an early shot at stuff like this. So if you haven't checked that out yet, there's the address. Check it out and, you know, try 30 days free, and please sign up and support the channel. And then maybe one day I'll be able to stop selling guitars. I don't think that'll ever happen. I think I will keep the circle of guitars turning. I think it's good to enjoy these things for a while, and if you're not using them, pass them on. It doesn't make sense to hoard guitars. My guitar collection, if you like, it's always around about between 60 and 65. It seems to have sort of always be around about that amount. So it's still a lot of bloody guitars though, isn't it? So yeah, I've still got a problem. So that's it for this week. Another 4 guitars listed for sale on Reverb, or were, or they might have gone already. Links in the description box. Go and have a look and see if there's any left. I mean, having said that, I don't even know if anyone's interested in buying a fucked up guitar. I may have misjudged that. I won't be desperately disappointed, to be honest, if I don't sell them all. As long as I sell a couple, we can keep the circle of guitars turning. I think we'll be happy. So anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. And come back next week. We might have a new guitar to review, mightn't we? We don't know. Come back next week and find out. Same time, same place. And until then, cheers for now. Ta-da.